Occupli, the largest Irish-based international provider of environmental health and safety, training, consultancy, recruitment, food safety and carbon services. Hello there, you're very welcome to the Occupli Podcast. I'm John Drummie and today I'm with Gary Horgan, Consultancy Manager with Occupli. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you, John.
What do you do exactly, Gary?
I am the Consultancy Manager in Occupli and have been working for the company for over 18 years. So I suppose I deal with the more technical aspects of health and safety. So myself and we have a team of 10 people between the Cork office and the Dublin office who report into me. But yeah, we provide a range of health and safety consultancy services. So typically those kind of services would include, we do a lot of explosion safety type consultancy, which, it's compliance regulation driven. So we prepare things like explosion protection documents. We do hazard area classification. We do ignition risk assessments. We basically help companies to comply with the general applications regulation for explosive atmospheres. So that's one of the service areas we work on. We do a lot of process related type safety work. We do hazard operability studies and LOPA type studies, layer protection analysis type studies. Nitrogen asphyxiation risk assessments. COMA, control of major hazardous accident type consultancy support for a wide range of clients. So, we also, one of the other services we've been doing for the last couple of years, we do a lot of machinery safety type work. So we do machinery risk assessments for our clients, which could be the pharmaceutical sector, or it could be primarily the medical device sector is a huge sector area for us, where we are doing machinery risk assessments. There are new machines that have been introduced into their facilities, so we can get involved in speccing the equipment. We can get involved in factory acceptance testing, site acceptance testing. We provide CE certification, so we certify machines that are being brought in on behalf of our clients. Yeah. It could be machines that have been brought in from America or maybe from the Far East that wouldn't necessarily have CE certification. So we assist our clients with CE certification.
I just think of a Joe Bloggs who might need to see a hospital consultant, and they might go to their GP. The more informed they are, the more they can ask about a particular service that might treat their illness. Is this your...
Absolutely. Look, I'm fortunate I have a really good team working for me that we probably pretty much handpicked. Some have been directly from the universities. So we have been working closely with Munster Technical University, with their chemical engineering graduates and their mechanical engineering graduates over the years. So we've got a number of these guys or girls working for us now. So I suppose, we obviously we take people on and we train them and develop their competency in certain areas. So, but I suppose my role really as leading the team would be when a client comes in with a particular requirement, who is the best person to do that work. So ideally, we do that work in house with some of our full-time staff. Alternatively, where we don't have the necessary competence in house, we would go elsewhere. So we've got a number of kind of consultants who, like we would have some consultants that specialize in doing hazard operability studies. Yeah. We've got consultants that specialize in doing fire type consultancy work. So yeah, we tend to use the right people for the right job, really. But ultimately, I'm kind of project managing. I would be the client contact. They'd come to me and explain what they want, and I kind of with them then would decide, well, what do they really want?
Yeah, what sort of questions do you ask to find out what they really want, or what they might know they really want?
They like we had a situation last week with a medical device company who had an actual accident with a machine, and they wanted to know with a new machine that was C certified, but clearly there was an issue with the machine. That when you looked at it independently, could have improved to remove a particular hazard. So with that company, we would have kind of gone through the machinery directive and the CE certification process, and maybe explained to them why the machine actually wasn't compliant with the machinery directive. So the outcome of that meeting, really, myself and one of my colleagues, would have been that next week, one of my colleagues, Alan, is a mechanical engineer and a kind of a certified machinery safety expert, will go to their site and will do an assessment of the machine, looking at all the aspects of the machine. So it's that kind of support. Ultimately, we're problem solvers for people. Clients will come to us, whether it be an explosion safety issue or whether it be a machinery safety issue, or, like I mentioned, an accident. They come to us to see what we can do to protect them.
And in terms of that protection, maybe this is a silly question, you would prefer, I'm sure, they come to you before something happens. You want them to be proactive and that you're the person to go to.
Well, absolutely. This particular client, actually, we had done work with them last year, and hopefully this will continue. We're a company that builds long-term relationships with our clients. We've been doing this over many years, and so we have a really kind of personal relationship with our clients, and having that kind of relationship, and always exceeding their expectations is quite important to us. So so it's having that kind of can-do kind of attitude to resolve issues is very, very important. It can be sometimes it can be something that's not the standard routine work. So we looked there recently at working in the whole of a ship for a client. Working in
the whole of a ship.
Working in the whole of a ship, exactly. And there obviously is some particular hazards like access and egress into holes of ships, is an issue, and kind of like working in restricted kind of atmospheres is an issue in the holes of ships. So that was a particular issue that was kind of a clear statutory compliance issue. But we, I knew somebody who could actually, who was had been a senior deck officer for with an exceeded 10, 12 years experience that I could call on to actually do that kind of work. So a lot of the time, the work isn't standard. Yes, machinery work and ATEX work and fire work is pretty routine work for us, but also you'll get asked to do non-standard type health and safety work. But it's my role is to make sure I understand what our clients want, and my role is to ensure that I select the right person, and I'll work with them then to make sure we deliver what they want.
But that's an example of having a good relationship with different people in different areas that you could go to your contacts book and say, I know somebody who could do that for you.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, having a relationship with other consultants that you trust is really, really important to us, because we know we can work with them. They'll provide a professional service. They understand our clients' needs, which is really, really important to us. So kind of having that kind of trust with clients is very, very important. And we I work and Darren and the team as well. We work. We work to develop a really good culture in our team. And I think we have a really good culture in our team. You know, we treat people with respect and dignity, and, you know, we're understanding, you know, we take on, particularly, like, we take on graduate engineers, whether they be a mechanical engineer or a process engineer, or, you know, a chemist, or, you know, somebody who's coming to us who's a good degree, or, you know, master's degree, and we work and develop them over a period of years to, I suppose, to be able to cover a range of services that we offer. So we just don't buy people in, you know, who come to us with 10, 15 years experience. Yes, if they're, you know, in a limited market at the moment, it's difficult to get people. But we do work with the universities. We do employ kind of graduates. You know, we train them up. Like we like all our recruits who say come to us with an engineering qualification, we'd send them to UCC, and they do the higher diploma as a starting point, and then they do other additional courses to top them up, to give them the competency.
The continuing professional development is essential. Yeah,
essential. You know, or probably looks. I mean, maybe sometimes the demands are too much. We put on some of the graduates. They could be doing a 2-year course part time, 2 nights a week in UCC, and they could also be going away doing, you know, a course for 6 months part time, or, you know, it could be, you know, a course might just be a week.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, you know, having people with the right kind of competencies is essential.
Like, you would have, as you mentioned, been very involved in picking your team to work with you here, but that experience of knowing people and recruiting people, you help others recruit for their business.
No, I do. I mean, we've got a placement and recruitment department in Occupli, and you know, when a role comes in, you know, those guys would speak to me and see, you know, well, what kind of qualification do they need, or what kind of experience do we need? You know, so I would help. You know, they would show me the CV then, and see if that CV is a perfect fit. I mean, there's no point in putting somebody forward with, say, you know, 10 years construction experience, and somebody's looking for, you know, somebody with process related experience.
So it's the right person for the right.
It's the right person for the right fit. So I also get involved in, obviously, you know, interviewing people, also to see, you know. So it's look, getting the right people is essential in our business. You know, you know, I suppose the old adage, you're only as good as your last job. So, you know, making sure we do a good job every time. You know,
and when it comes to health and safety, it's crucial, because lives are dependent on it.
It is. The consequences can be catastrophic. You know, when you're talking about, you know, explosion safety or process related, you know.
Can I just to cut across you on the explosive safety?
Yeah.
Immediately we think of petrol, we think of maybe chemical substances. I mean, an explosion could happen in a microwave in a cafe. I know that is one end of the scale to blowing up a whole factory, but the dangers are there. The dangers to know them.
Yeah, the dangers are there. I mean, you know, people obviously, when they think of explosions, they think of BP and, you know, explosions on oil rigs.
Yeah.
But you know, they're not real high profile ones. But you know, every day, every week, you know, there's explosions in industries we wouldn't normally perceive as being high risk. So we're talking about the food industry because of the milk powders they have, you know, or the food industry, or the drinks industry, you know, the whiskey, and, you know, and the medical device sector, because of, you know, the type of substances, whether they be flammable liquids and gases, or, you know, are powders they're using. So, you know, the regulations apply to all industries, really. So, you know, from industry to petrol stations to
What do you like most about your job?
What I like most about my job, well, I've been working in health and safety for probably 33 years now at this stage. What I like most about the job is I obviously like the technical aspect of the job. I like the troubleshooting aspect of the job. The variation of types of workplaces we could be working in. We could be working in a pharmaceutical facility in Ringaskiddy, or we could be, in the hold of a ship on a dock in Cork. We could be in a medical device sector facility. So there's a huge range. Of, you're dealing with different, you're dealing with different companies. It could be an Irish company or American company or, a company from the EU. But ultimately we're dealing with people. And I suppose the thing I really like, I suppose, is ultimately we're dealing with people. And it's, as I said, it's very much kind of like solution driven. They have a problem. It might be a health and safety authority inspector might come on site and make recommendations or give them an improvement plan. And hopefully they come to somebody like Occupli, and we would take a look at what has been raised as an issue. And this would be something that we routinely do, and see, what we need to do to actually resolve the issue for the client. We would work with that client then, obviously clearly in the background, but hopefully the likes of the Health and Safety Authority, because we're, our reputation and we're a reputable company and we've got good people. When we issue a report, that, there hopefully won't be, too much further discussion on maybe what we've recommended. But it's so it's dealing with. We're dealing with equipment. We're dealing with people. And it's just a sheer variation. Like I've worked in kind of a range of, like I've been working for Occupli now for more than 18 years. I worked in the food industry as a group health and safety manager for Dairy Gold for 6 years. I was in the steel industry for ISPAT International for 4 years. Railway industry prior to that. So I'm kind of coming from I've been in I've been in different industries. I've been in different sectors, but what we do, whether I'm in the steel industry or whether I be in the pharmaceutical sector, is the same approach. Same approach applies, to good, the good management, good safety principles, through a risk assessment approach. So that's pretty much what we do.
Gary, pleasure talking to you. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much, John.
If you would like more information, please visit our website, occupli.com. Occupli, putting safety to work for over 25 years.